Now let us move for the next transformation. How to draw the graph of y equals to mod of fx. Now for this transformation, you just remember the method that I am telling you. If I give you, suppose any graph you take, let us say, if we find out y equals to mod of sin x. First of all, you remember the rule that I am telling you. At the same time, I am giving it in the footnote also. Y equals to mod of any function, what you will do, first you draw the basic graph. First you draw the basic graph. In this case, it is y equals to sin x. The sin x graph will look something like this. Right? Okay. Now remember, whenever you see I have stopped here, it doesn't mean that it is stopping here. It is continuing. I have not given that thing anymore. Okay. So now, whenever you find mod of that function, for any basic function, for any basic graph, you are taking the mod of that function. All you do is, you simply put a mirror on the x-axis and take its reflection. Put a mirror on the x-axis. On the x-axis and take its reflection. That is, if I put a mirror here and if I take the reflection, what will happen? This will come up, right? This will come up, right? So y equals to mod of sin x. The graph will look something like this. Is it clear? This is again 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, minus pi, and this thing goes on. Is it clear? So what I have told you, just remember, whenever mod of any function is given to us, draw the basic graph first and then put a mirror on the x-axis and take its reflection. So whatever graph you are getting is basically the graph of y equals to mod of fx. Is it clear? Another example. Let us say y is equals to mod of log x base pi. Okay, base pi means what is the value of pi? Approximately it is 3.14, so it is more than 1. So your basic graph y equals to log x base pi will look something like this. Is it clear? This point is 1, 0. This is your basic graph. Okay. Now, since we have to find out mod of this function, so what we will do, we will put a mirror on the x-axis and I will take its reflection. So the final transformed graph will look something like this. Look it carefully. This part will come up. So it will look like this. This point is 1, 0. Again, this curve will not meet the y-axis. Here your y-axis is the asymptote to this curve. Is it clear? Have you understood how to transform y equals to mod of fx? Okay. Now let us come for another transformation, which is your y equals to f of mod x. Y equals to f of mod x. Let us take an example like y is equals to, let us say, sine of mod x. How to draw this graph? Okay. So first of all, you draw basic graph. Equals to sine x. How it looks like? Is it clear? This is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. Okay. Now listen it very carefully. I've already mentioned it in the footnote also. All you do to draw the transformed graph of y equals to sine of mod x, all you do is you remove the portion which is given to us, which we have drawn in the basic graph, which is in the second and third quadrant. This is our first quadrant, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. All you do is you rub the portion in the second and third quadrant. Whatever portion of the graph is there in the second and third quadrant, you just remove it. Just remove this portion. Remove this portion. And then all you do is you put a mirror on the y-axis. You put a mirror on the y-axis and take its reflection. So if I take its reflection, the curve will look something like this. Yes or no? And that will be the curve of, that will be the graph of y equals to f of mod x. Is it clear? In this case, this is the graph of y equals to sine of mod x. Is it clear to all of you? Absolutely. Okay. Now, for the next transformation, all I'm trying to do is, I'm combining these two. Let me combine these two transformations. That is, I want to find out f of mod of x whole mod. Is it clear? Let me take an example, something like y is equals to, let us take log x base e. Here it is a mod and the whole is mod. Is it clear? Now we have to draw this graph. Remember, first of all, we have to know that what is E. E is the Napier's constant whose value is 2 point something. It is lying between 2 and 3. That is, it is more than 1. Therefore, the basic graph of log x base E will be like this. It is 1, 0. Am I correct? Now, this is the basic graph. Y equals to log x base E. Now I'm transforming this graph. The first transformation is y is equals to mod of log x base e. The first transformation is mod of log x base e. What to do? Put a mirror on the x-axis, take its reflection. So if I put a mirror on the x-axis and if I take its reflection, the graph will look something like this. This point is 1, 0. Hello? Is it clear? So this is the first transformation. The next transformation, what I'm trying to do here is, I'm taking a mod in x. Okay? I have taken the mod sign in x. Now what to do? What I told you. This graph, after drawing this graph, you have to see what is the portion which is in the second and third quadrant. And that you have to rub. But luckily, we don't have any portion in the second and third quadrant. So there is nothing to be rubbed. Okay. So what you will do next is, put a mirror on the y-axis and take its reflection. So the graph will look something like, this is the graph which is there. And you are taking its reflection. So it will look like this. Yes or no? So this point will be 1, 0. This point will be minus 1, 0, right? This is the graph of y equals to mod of log of mod of x. Is it clear? See, it's little bit complicated. You know, if you don't know the transformation, it will be very difficult for you, even in the coming days, to draw this graph. So you must remember the transformation. Now, one question can come here. It said, you have taken first transformation as mod of log x. If I take the first transformation as log of mod x, what will happen? You will get exactly the same graph ultimately. Okay? Whether you take that mod sign inside or outside, it doesn't matter. If when you complete the whole graph, you will find that graph and this graph are absolutely the same. So there is no difference. Is it clear now? So have you understood y equals to mod of fx, y equals to f of mod x, and then the combination of these two, y equals to mod of f of mod of x. Is it clear? Okay.